Okay, we're on Masechtas site at Daf Memvav Amud Aleph. On the bottom of the page, 4 lines from the bottom. It starts over there, Amr Rabbi Yechon Meshol. So the Gemara, Amr Rabbi Yechon Meshol. Rabbi Yechon Meshol said, V'bnei Ma'amr Tova, why did the Torah say, Hevi Ego Benachal? It's not so much the question about the Nachal, but shit, Nachal Eson. It's supposed to be a land that's like a stony land that they can't plant over there and anything. So the Gemara, Amar Kosh Baruch the Eibishter said, Yovei Dova Shaloi Osa Pedus. The Egla is a little calf yet. It didn't have any others. V'yara B'mokum She'ein Osa Pedus, and you should chop it off in a place where things don't grow. V'yichaper, and it should be mechaper mishrei also mishrei nichol ases pedus. So the Gemara, my pedus. What do we mean the pedus? Ilem appear if he had no children. In fact, the Gemara alameata azokim v'asados hachanam medrei apinim. What if this mess was an old man? So maybe you can't have pedus anymore. So maybe then the egg doesn't apply. Ella is meant mitzvahs. When they killed him, he couldn't do any more mitzvahs. That's a chav shim in mitzvahs. Then it said to Maridon Oisay al Nachal Esau. So first they explained why the calf, the little calf. Now he said Maridon Oisay al Nachal Esau. Zaktamar Esau Kamashmoy kosher. Esau means hard. It's a hard piece of land that you can't work in. Tan Rabbanon, Minayin Eisa Shul Kosher. How do we know that Eisa means hard? Shenem Eshteit in Posik, Eisa Moshevecha, V'sim Basala Kinecha. So Eisa Moshevecha means your place of settling should be in a strong place. V'ayman, the Posik says, Shimu Harim Esliv Hashem, V'eisonim Moizde Oretz. So you see that the Esonim are the foundations, the land is built on them. Achayim Maimer Minayim Reisa Shu Yoshon, that means old, it's a different shot. Shenema Goy Eson Hu Goy Me'oylam Hu, an old nation. Then it says, V'orphan Oisai in the Mishnah, Bekupitz Me'achareh, you knock it on the back. So the Mora Maitam, what's the reason? Goma Arifa Mechatas Oiv. By State of Ofu and Bechatas Oiv in the Beis Hamikdash, when they brought a Chatas Oiv, so they didn't shecht it like we shecht the chicken today. But with the nail they knocked off the head. So from there we learned that that's the way you have to do it. Sure, you can't do it with a nail because it's a little cow. I mean, it's not a little bird. Also you can't plant over there and you can't work over there. Now the pasuk state, Asher lo ya'aved bo v'lo yizoreya. So the Gemara, Tana Rabbanan, Asher lo ya'aved bo v'lo yizoreya l'sha'ava. It means that it's a land that before, its history is that they didn't plant over there or they didn't work over there. Divrei Rabbi Yasha. If you're in the we don't care about the history of the past. We're saying that this place where this took place, you can no longer use it for any working or planting over there. Amar Rabba says, the Kula Alma, like Pligi, they all agree to Lahaba that it means for the future, that you can't use this place anymore for planting or working there. B'ksiv v'lo yizoreya. Yizoreya is a lashon hosuk. Ki pligi, the machlokes is l'sha'ava. If it also has to be a place that they didn't work over there or not. What's the question? There's a little bit of shayla how to read these words in the Gemara. Rabbi Yasha holds Miksiv v'lo I'll read the way it says over here. The Bach changes. Rashi changes. Lo Yehuba. So he's teaching Lo Yehuba means pissed. Rabbi Yonasan said, if a man pissed, Mik Siva Shalai Nevad. Nevad means pissed. But over here it doesn't mean pissed. So it's a good question to Rashi. Where does Rashi get the idea that Yehoved means pissed? So the Gemara, Rabbi Yasha, Asher Risha'oba Mashma. By Yizora, it doesn't say Asher. By over here it says Asher Yehoved, Yehoved. So Asher. Asher means that it was the past. It's Asher is not a tzivu. If it meant for the future, then it would be a tzivu. Then they wouldn't use the word Asher. And Asher means that in the past. But Rabbi Yonasan said, you take it right. It's Sheit Asher, and Asher means the past. But he says, Asher Ribuyehu. Why does it say Asher over here? Because we'll soon see in the Gemara that you can't do other work there also. Not just planting and planting, but you can't do other things there also.
Here it said the Chatchila is a place that it wasn't able to be things. What's the whole shot?
So that's the past.
I'm saying you said it has to be a hard land and that you don't grow, and here it's saying don't grow. We can't grow anyway. Nothing grows there.
Well, maybe you could dig it up and I don't know, maybe. Now it says a mutter lisrik shom pishtim. You gotta comb over there the flax, and to clean out stones. The stones have like crevices in it and there's dirt in it. You have to clean it out. Something matana rabbanon steht in the pasuk asher lo ye'oved boy v'lo yizoreya ein li al zriya shara vaydas minayin. How do you can't do anything else there? Talmud Leimer asher lo ye'oved boy mikol mokum im kain abizay. If ye'oved means everything, abizay ma Talmud Leimer lo yizoreya. So why does he specify planting? Leimer mazriya miyuchedes. Shiba gufa shel kaka, af kol shiba gufa shel kaka. Any work in the kaka has to do with the kaka, that you can't do. But yotza zikas pishtin, if you want to just sit there on a chair and clean pishtin, the nikar of one or cleaning out stones, she'enim begufa shel kaka, the ema asher lo in the practical so practical modern. Now, why shouldn't we say that Asher lo ye'oved boy is kal, and v'lo yizoreh is a special prat, and we have a rule that kal prat ein bekal mashav prat, and maybe that would mean zriya in midachin loy. Zat the Gemara Asher ribuyehu. The word Asher is maba other work in the kaka. That's what the Gemara just said before. Zikne ye'er reifsin yedayim. Ton rabbonu. V'chol zikne ye'er ahi hakreik malacholu yichutzu es yedayim ala ego harufa benacha. She'ein talmud leim harufa. It doesn't. What's the difference? We know it should be awful. So what's the guy say? It's that you chop low. So what if you got a new description? Harufa. What do we need that description? Umatam leim harufa. Amokam arifasa, by the place over there, by the back of the neck, where they chopped over there, on that place they wash their hands with water. The armor, they say, Yodeinu l'shaflas adamazeh, v'neinu l'ro. Praktik Gemara b'chi'al libeinu also, shebezin sheifchem damim. What do they have to avoid? They have to denounce that they didn't do it. Ella, it meant that like bo yadainu, we didn't know about him. Upatrinu b'lei mezainis, and we let him go without eating. V'lei re'inu, and we never saw this person. V'nachchu b'lei gavaya, and we didn't accompany him when he went. Tanya, the Gemara, hoya Rabbi Aimer kaifin l'gavaya. That means if someone doesn't want to bagreit the mitzvah, and he wants to be bagreit, so you could force him pidin that he must do it. Why? Sheschar halvaya ein lo shir. Shenema. How do we know that? In other words, it's very rewarding. How do we know that it's rewarding? That the Shnema steht in Pasuk, vayiru Hashem ish yaitzim ne'ir. This is a ma'aser when they had to, I think it's when they had to conquer Yericho, and they didn't know how to get into the city, where they blocked it, that they shouldn't be able to find how to get in. So they saw a person coming out of the city, and Vayomu Loi had Einu Noas V'Vayoir, show us the entrance to the city, because it was blocked. No one would know where it is. V'Asinu Imcho Chesed, and we will reward you for that. Uksiv is taken pasuk vayarem es levoyer. He showed them the entrance to the city. Uma chesed also imay. What was the chesed that they did? That the shekol oisei yer hagul v'charev v'oisei yish mishpachtei shochel. And what happened when they sent the man? They said, "You're free. We're not going to touch you." Shteit vayelech haish eretz hachitim vayivan ir. Vayikra Shmo Luz. So the Gemara, who he Shmo Ada Yemazar. It's the city is known till this day is known by the city of Luz. Rabbi Hecht in his book has a whole drasha about Luz, but we're not going to do that now. So the Gemara, and this city Tanya, we went in the Braisa. He Luz. This is the famous Luz. Shetzayvim bought Chelis that they make over there the Chelis for the tzitzis. He Luz. This is the famous city of Luz. Shabbat Sancheriv, V'loi Bilbula. Sancheriv didn't do any harm to the city. And the Buchanetza, V'loi Chriva. And the Buchanetza didn't destroy it. V'af Malach HaMavos, Ein Lo Rishus Ravaba. And even the Malach HaMavos has no rishus to come there to Chas V'Shalom to kill anybody. I, fact the Gemara, I was the Canaan Shabbat. What happened to the people is Mansha Kotza Aleim when they're tired of living already, so what do? Yaitzin Chutz L'Tchaima V'hein Mesa. But in that city themselves, as long as they're in the city, nothing happens to them.
Gotta go find the place.
Is Isaiah the Gemara V'Advarim Kavachayim Uma Kenan is that this person Edish Yisod Kenanim. So the person that he asked that showed him the way, it was a Kanani. So Uma Kenan is that. Shalai Diba B'Piv. He didn't say anything. V'loi halach, but Agav, he didn't take them to see where it is. Garam Hatzala Loya Lazare Hatzayv Kol Adaides is Misha Isa Levaya, but Agav, someone goes with his feet together to see a person off. Avachas Kama V'Kama. In fact, the Gemara, Bameh Hera Lehem. So
He didn't go.
if he didn't go and he didn't talk, so how did he show them? So the Gemara, Cheskia says, Befiv Okam. Like he moved his head or he moved his mouth around in that direction. He didn't say anything. And Rabbi Yechon Be'etzva Hera Lehem. He showed him with his finger where to go. But the Gemara, Tanya, the Rabbi Yechon, we heard a Braisa like Rabbi Yechon, that Beshvil Shekanani Zeh had a this boy is God a Matzola, Loya Lazare Yatsev Kol Adaides. So the Gemara, Rabbi Shiur said, Rabbi Shiur ben Levi, Hamahava B'derech, Ve'en Legavaya, and he has no one accompanying him. What should he do? He said, Yasik B'Taira. He should be Yasik B'Taira. Shenema Ki Livyas from the word Levaya. Ki Livyas Chen Hengor Shecha V'Anokum Magagar Secha. The Taira is like a bracelet around your neck. It will protect you. V'Yomar Rabbi Shiur ben Levi. Ishvil Abo Psias. Because of the 4 steps. Shaliva Parei Avram Avinu. That Parei, not Avram, Shenem steht in Pasuk. But after he let him go over there, Shvei Vayitzav Olav Parei Anoshim, Parei sent people to protect Avram, that no one should do anything to him. So Pare was rewarded. Listen to this. What was his reward? Nishtabed bebonav Abba Meir Shona. He ended up that his children, the Bnei Yisrael, were enslaved to Pare for 400 years. Shenem Meshed Pasuk, Ba'vodom ve'inu Raisum, Abba Meir Shona. So they ask a question over here. This had not the Mitzrayim was a Ma'aseh by the Brisbane Absarim. There was a Brisbane Absarim, but Avram had a dream and everything, and in the dream they told him, Ki geyi zarecha be'eretz levahem, he come to Pare over here. This was a different story entirely. So they say that this is Mashah, and Mashah said this. He said in the Brisbane Absarim, he says Ki geyi zarecha be'eretz levahem, but where he didn't say. Yeah. So they were zoicha that they were the ones that got the Shiva of Mitzrayim, that they got the Yidden to be the Shiva of Mitzrayim. Omer Rav Yehuda, Omer Rav Yehuda said, Kogam Magabes Chavere Abba Ames, Be'ir, Eina Nizik. Ravino Al-Ravio, L'Rava by Yisrach, Dalad Ames Be'ir, and Motla Lidei Ezekiel, there was something happened that he was almost genizik, and he was saved. They say that this is all. What's the Inya of the Leviyah? The Inya of the Leviyah is that a person feels more stronger by himself. He doesn't feel he's alone. So Lamashal, when a person is has Chalisha Sadas, he feels depressed and he feels depressed, so people will pick a fight with him because they see he's weak, or with a strong one, so it's a mental thing that you do. When you bagrate him, you make him feel better, and b'meila, he's more protected. Zat Matan Rabbanan, Harav with Talmud, if a Talmud came to visit his Rav, so Ad Ibura Sho'ir. Ibura Sho'ir means that when we measure a city, so by the end of the city, there's another 70 amas that's considered a part of the city. That's called Ibura Sho'ir. Ibura from the word Ibu, like pregnant. It's like a stomach of the city. Chaver l'chaver, if a chaver came to visit a chaver, not a Talmud or Rebbe, is Ad Chum Shabbos. That's till Chum Shabbos. It's 2,000 mil. That's like 2/3 of a mile. Talmud l'Rav, Ein Lo Shiur. Over there, it'd be even a big amount. The Kama, how much? Something you have to give us an idea. The Omer of Shesha Ad Pasa. Pasa is a few mil. That's much more than Chum Shabbos. V'loi amoran el Rabbi she'ena muvik. That's still Pasa. Abu Rabbi muvik is shleisha pasois. That's a big mahalach. Zat the Gemara of Kahana I Ravya l'Rav simi ba'ashi. Mipum nara ad bei tzinisa. The bubble. These are cities in bubble. So he migrated him from here, from Pumnara till Beit Tzinosa. Kimosa Hosam, when they got over there to Beit Tzinosa, Omalei, he said to him, Rav Kahana asked of Simi, Vadai, is it true, the Amrito that they say, the Hani Tzinisa, the bubble, these stones over here in bubble, is Mishnei Adam Marishan? These are old, dates back to Adam Marishan. Isnayu, Amalei, so he said to them, At Karton Milsa, when you ask me this question, you help me to remember something. The Omer of Yossi Bar Chanina, my diksiv, be'eretz la'ava ba'ish, v'yoshev adam sham. So the question is, he said, a person didn't come here and a person didn't sit here. If a person didn't pass through the city, then of course he didn't sit here. But the Gemara You skip the parenthesis. Ella Eretz Shagazala Adam Marishan. Liyishov Nishyashva. If Adam Marishan was gazer on a certain place, it should be inhabited. It became inhabited. And Eretz Shagazala Adam Marishan Loy Nishyashva. So the Gemara of Mordechai, Alavia, Rav Ashi, May Hagrunya, Viad Bei Keeping. V'omer, and some say Ad Bei Dudo. Okay. That the Gemara it shows you some of this is a big distance. That's what he wants to show you, tell you. Omer Rav Yechon, Mishum Rav Meir, Kol Shein Malave Misrave, Ki'ilu Sheipel Dom. Someone that doesn't do this is like a Sheipel Dom. Mole reveal Anshe Yericha L'Risha. If it had the people of Yericha accompanied Elisha, like Gira diving with Yinaikis, Elisha would not have incited wolves to kill children. This will see in the Gemara what the story is. Shnem Mishtet Pasuk, Vayal Mishom Beis Kel, V'hu Ola B'derach. He went over there. He was leaving from Beis Kel, and Unaorim Ketanim Yotzu Mina'ir, and there were some young kids that came out of the city. Vai Yiskalsu Bay, they began like screaming, like making remarks about him. For Amr Loi, and they called him Alei Kereach, you baldy, leave over here. What does it mean, baldy? It doesn't mean that a baldy, what it meant to say. There was a mice over in that city that the water supplies got contaminated, and they had no water. So these kids made a business of going to a certain place where they got water, and they brought it to the city, and they sold it to the people. When Elisha came there and he cured the water, so he destroyed these people's business. So you made us bald, like you took away our business. So they called him Kareah, but they so Amrullah, Alei, go get out of here. Shekrachta Oleinu as a mokum. You made the city bald. I mean, we have no more to come of it to reap profits. Fact the Gemara, my unaorim ketanim. Now, naorim ketanim is a strange expression. Nar means someone that's, let's say, 12 years old. Cotton means someone that's 6 years old. So what does it mean, naorim ketanim? Fact the Gemara, my naorim ketanim. Omer Rabbi Lazar shem naorim min ha-mitzvahs. They were called Na'arim because they were not from boys. They were like dropouts from the yeshiva. At Ketanim, why do you call them Ketanim? Shahaya Miktani Amuna, because they didn't have any faith that the Eibush can give them another panasa. They thought that right away because of Elisha they have no more panasa anymore. The Eibush has plenty ways to give you panasa. Tana. We learned Na'arim Hayu, they were like young lads, Bizbaz Asam Ketanim. They acted like little children. They embarrassed themselves and acted like little children. Maskut, what Rabbi Yosef asked the question, V'dilma Hashem Mekaimim. Maybe Na'arim there's a city that's called Na'arim. So maybe they were Ketanim from Na'arim. And how do we know that it's such a city? Because me like Sid, there's a pasuk that says, "Va'aram yotz yigududin va'yeshu be'eretz Yisrael nara ketano." The kashulei over there also we have a question of nara ketana. How does it mean these two things together? How could be nara? Nara is 12 years old, and ketana is younger. Va'ama repedos ketana the min neurim. They are the little children from the city of Neurim. And for the Gemara, so why over here by Elisha also? Why do we say let's say that they were from a city of Ne'urim. So the Gemara, Hosam lemiforish mekayma, and Hacha meforish mekayma. It doesn't say over here that they came from Ne'urim Katana. Over there it says min Ne'urim Katana, so we know that Ne'urim is a city. But over here, it's not telling you that, so therefore we interpreted that they were Ne'urim and they acted like children. So when they heard when Elisha heard these people, they were cursing him, so Sheit Vayifun Achav, he turned around, Vayarem, and he saw them, Vayikalem b'Shem Hashem, and he cursed them. So the question is, my law, what does it mean? He turned around and he saw them. First, if he turned around, he saw them. Till he doesn't turn around, he can't see them. So the Gemara, Rav said, Ra mamash, kid Sanya Nefshim Ben Aliyah Ayman, Kol Mokum. That Ra means is like he really put his vision on them. Kol Mokum she Nasach Acham Einayim Oy Misa Oy Oyni. It means a punishment of Misa or poverty. Shmuel Amar, Ra, he saw the future. Ra, he says, Shekulam this Abraham Iman B'Yom HaKippurim. Kippurim, one of the 5 things you're not allowed to do is to have relationship. And their mother has relationship on Yom Kippur. So the Gemara, Rav Yitzchak, Nafcha Omar, V'gurias Ra Lahem, Kamayrom, you saw that the haircut, that they didn't have haircuts, they had long hair, like the Mayroim. So Ra is from the word Amayri. But Rabbi Yechanan Amar, Ra Shelehaisa Behem Lachlucha Shal Mitzvah. They had no lips, dampness, like fresh. They do a mitzvah so it revives you. In fact, the Gemara, the Dilma Bezadeh Nehevi Avya, maybe their children will be Taididika people. Amar Rav Eliezer, he saw the future generations also. Like Bom, V'lei Bezadim, not them and not their children. Ad Seif Kol Adaitis. Derech Agav, stop this a minute, I don't want to hear.